Google just kicked in the door and entered the generative AI music scene with their brand new platform. But will it actually take over Suno as the top dog in the music field? Well, today I'm gonna be reacting to this video by top music attorney, giving a rundown on the tool and its impact on the legal side. Make sure you stay tuned to the very end of this video because this is very critical information that you're gonna need as a music creative. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Is Google gonna destroy Suno? Like, is this the end of Suno or the beginning stages? Not because of the lawsuits, not because of the backlash, but because a bigger bully just entered the arena. Like, Google apparently is coming in and being like, I'm gonna set up the new, biggest, and best AI music generation platform. Now, while everyone's been arguing about how Suno should be liable for scraping tens of millions of songs and all this, like, the marketplace nonetheless has been moving forward. And so Google quietly went and purchased Suno's competitor, formerly known as Refusion, Producer AI. Now, this whole thing is like a labyrinth of power of infrastructure that Google already has. So this whole thing is powered by Lyria 3, which is described as the most advanced generative AI model to date in the Gemini chatbot app. And so this thing is already out. I went online and I stalked to just see, what people are saying. Do they like it? Is this thing really like the best of the best? And is it better than Suno? Let's take a look at one particular review.
But we're going to go over some outputs from producer.ai, how the workflow is a little bit different. And then also, how it sounds. Ultimately, does it sound as good, if not better, than Suno music or other AI LLMs out there? So let's hop into it. I was just playing around with a couple prompts in here, and as you see, it is like it's a text-based flow. So it's more like talking with a chatbot versus having the Suno interface, which is this is not the studio interface, it's just the regular one, but it's, you pop in your lyrics, your styles, you have a couple advanced options, but that's pretty much it for this interface. Whereas this one, the big difference is, like, let's say I wanted something to change with the bass line, which I did for this song that it was giving me. You can kind of just tell it, like, hey, I think the bass line needs changing here. Can you change it? And it will attempt to do that. So I think sometimes I like that flow. Sometimes I think it's unnecessary.
Okay, so he goes on to kind of explain the interface. It's different. It wasn't quite as intuitive, it's in his opinion. And then comparing just the output, right? That's a big thing. Is the juice worth the squeeze? And he felt like Suno was stronger, particularly with the instrumentals. The vocals were pretty good. So, my initial thought on this is I go, well, you have a competitor that comes into the space. Suno has had a couple of years to get all the different iterations of its AI model right. As you guys, I'm sure, know, these AI companies, they don't just train one AI model and then they never make refinements. No, they keep rolling out and training new versions using different data sets. Obviously, this is a big part of why we're suing them. But again, back to right now, this isn't a new competitor in the relevant marketplace. This is Google.
Yeah, that's the thing with Suno, more particularly the Suno Studio side, where you have the different tracks. That's really a whole different thing. That's just much more advanced and much more detailed than just that regular Suno side that some of you guys just experiment with. So what I'm seeing with Google so far, it seems like they're more so in that beta phase. They're kind of speaking more so to the casual user as opposed to the real deal in the field music creators, where we are going to want more of that, studio DAW style customization like Suno Studio has. So I think they are in the early phases, and as they work with more people, more consultants, content creators possibly, then we're going to eventually start to see the tool adapt and then possibly get that DAW style. And if we're speaking more so historically, a lot of times these new emerging technologies, the top dog rarely stays the top dog. It's usually someone else comes in and kind of knocks them off, kind of like AOL, like, Netscape. If you guys are old enough to remember Netscape Navigator, could Google be knocking off Suno as the quote unquote Netscape Navigator for the Internet Explorer or the Firefox of this generation? That might sound far-fetched. We're early on and this is brand new technology. So we never know. Let's see what happens in the future. But let's get back into the video.
But again, back to the right now, this isn't a new competitor in the relevant marketplace. This is Google. This is multi-bajillion dollar Google coming in and saying, we're going to be essentially like taking over. And this is a big deal for Suno. Now, Suno is a new startup, but Suno obviously has made huge advancements with a $2.5 billion valuation. So it's yet to be seen whether producer AI, formerly known as Refusion, is going to be the one to take the cake. Now, all this legal smoke that is around Suno right now, obviously Suno is facing like really serious allegations. Multiple companies are suing. We're suing, right, on behalf of independent music makers. But while all of these different lawsuits are ongoing, the market is still going to move forward. Google is still building. But a question that I have on behalf of independent music makers is the same one that I always have. And I go, okay, what is being done as far as transparency? What is being done as far as ethical sourcing of the training data that Google's AI has used and will continue to use moving forward?
That's the thing when it comes to the question of the ethical training of AI. And, I've seen the argument placed online that, that's really an oxymoron. You can't have ethical training of AI. It's not really coherent. And whenever we do hear AI generated music, when it sounds really, really, really good, even if someone says it's ethical, it's important to question it. But let's get back into the video.
But think about also the ad spend. Have you guys seen all of Suno's ads? Like seriously, since the beginning, Suno's advertising budget has to be astronomical. And it's so aggressive on so many different platforms. They advertise all the time. So they're going not just as far as like paid ads, but they're also now going to influencers. They're also now going to kind of pay off real producers and Grammy Award winning this and that and different artists to do these partnerships to come out and be like, yay, Suno is the greatest thing that ever happened. So on just the market kind of awareness, more people know about Suno, right? And as far as fandom, people really like the platform. So I'm curious to see, as people start to actually use producer AI, is Suno gonna survive Google? All right, so back to the independent artist kind of take on this, because Google actually put out a blog talking about this. And I was searching through it. I go, did they say anywhere about the steps that they're taking for independent artists, for creators? I did not see a single thing about independent artists licensing the training data, any kind of compensation, opt-ins, copyright safeguards. So as far as, my take on this and being like, well, is Google coming through to be the hero? I didn't see anything and haven't seen anything just yet. And as I was actually looking at other people who have reviewed the new platform, there was a YouTube account, Music Tech Info, that I wanted to shout out because he shouted out our class action lawsuit against Suno. So thank you very much for that. As I see you guys kind of just discussing this online, I really appreciate you. So will, Google at least start negotiating deals with the major labels? And then what does that do for, independent artists? Well, historically, what that means is that, independents are left out of the conversation without a seat at the table. Obviously, that's why I'm trying to bridge that gap. So here's my hardline position. I'll end with this. If you're music trained, the machine, you deserve compensation.
All right, guys. So it looks like Google's playing in that same hazy, we're not really telling you how we're doing things, sketchy copyright type of feel that, other AI platforms are playing in as well. So message to all my producers out there, follow my page here or Instagram or anything like that. Please proceed with caution. Just because it sounds good, it feels good, you really want to put it into your music, be careful if you're going to leave it into the final composition, because we never know what's going to happen in the future that could lead you into legal issues. So I could easily push a lot of stuff here on my channel, but I don't. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Are you going to use this new Google AI, generative AI platform for your music? Are you going to continue to use Suno? Are you anti-AI in your music in general? Where exactly do you sit in this AI music landscape? I'd like to hear your comments down below. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit like and subscribe. My name is Desmond A, and I'll be back with more great videos. Peace. Wait, before you go, make sure you go to DesmondASounds.com where you can get free FL Studio Patcher plugins, free loops, free guides, everything you need to level up your music production. Once again, go to DesmondASounds.com or click the link in the description. Go there now and totally transform your music production.